all signs point to this, as we have an incredible quote from newly acquired Zack Bolduc indicating his future within the forward core and how playing center is more likely than we ever would have thought when this trade went down. We have to break down what he says and the impact, the ripple effect that has on the Habs lineup and even moves moving forward. But it's not just him. We have great quotes from Alexander Zharovsky, the Habs top pick in this past year's draft in the second round, on his future in North America and relationship with Ivan Demidov. And also Juraj Slafkovsky is poised for a breakout season. And we have a very interesting thing to look forward to this year more than anything else. All that coming up on this episode of Habs Digest. And let's start with Slaf. You know what, Slafzilla, Jesse, it's been a hot minute since we've used this animation. Oh, it feels so good to be talking about Juraj Slafkovsky coming back this year. And look, there's been a lot of talk recently, especially on social media, about what is in store for our boy Slaf. Like, look, 51 points, a career high last year, 2 goals in 5 playoff games. And as always, second half Slaf was a thing. The dude went beast mode in the second half of the season. And we're talking now about what is coming next. And, you know, we're hearing point predictions for a lot of people, and there's some other things that we're going to get into in a minute. Again, stuff that come, one in the middle of the season, one later. But, I mean, Jesse, if we're talking pure point prediction for Slaf, a guy that's going to be on the top line, we watch every highlight. He seems to have an effect on every goal that top line scores. Is it crazy to say that this dude could push 70 points this season?
It would be wild, and that would be a big jump. I'm having him at 65 points. I got a lot of faith. I feel like he's going to take a little bit of that quantum jump. We know the bigger guys take a little bit of time. You have to feel like getting a little bit more support on that second line, like the Demidov effect will be huge. Not on Nick Suzuki, not just him, but Slafkovsky as well. Mm-hmm. I mean, we know, speaking of Demidov, Hutson, obviously Zooks, Cole, they're going to go out and do their things. But the real X factor for this team this year is really Juraj Slafkovsky and his point production that he's going to get. And I really think that he's up for a monster, Slafzilla-esque type of season here, really kind of coming up. The reason for that is, Josh, the reason why I feel it, he's figured out what he needs to do in his game. It took him a little while. He came to that revelation as of next year. We might not have liked the comps the most of like a Brady Tkachuk saying like, I need to play like that player. Mm-hmm. And then kind of once he did, just like Nick Suzuki, even though he's a lot younger, he put his money where his mouth is. And a lot of his efforts, a lot is kind of heralded of Suzuki, but a lot of Slaf, second half Slaf, is also a big reason of why we got to the playoffs, but it's really starting it on time from the beginning. I think that physical side of the game is really going to be key. If he's getting engaged, really making stuff happen, rattling cages, creating turnovers, we know he can just whip the puck around on the ice. I think that that's going to be the big thing, just kind of really get engaged. He's going to get that help from that second line. I think just the natural thing of a bigger guy, just kind of figuring out his body a little bit more. And we're ready to see a big jump of considerably 10 plus points, even potentially a 15-point improvement. I would say like isn't out of the realm of possibility this year, given these different factors that Slaf is going to have this year.
Yeah, for sure. And again, like we talk about second half Slaf, this dude had the franchise record for most points in a season by a teenager. And again, I'm thinking like, I think it's crazy to say he's not going to get over 20 goals this year. You know, like that's the thing. I have him at about 25 goals. Assists, hard to say, but I have it right around your range. I was going to say 63 to 67. You're bang in the middle. So I might as well say 25 goals, 40 assists. Slaf likes those nice round numbers there, 20, 30 for 50. So why not 25, what did I say? 25, 35 or 25, 35 for 60? Whatever, 25, 40. Doesn't matter. He's going to be amazing. But the big thing this year too, just to quickly touch on it, his play style. We know the Olympics is why he got drafted as high as he did before, Jesse, with that 7 goals in 7 games performance. This is one thing I'm incredibly looking forward to. He was like the first guy named. He's top front and center for Team Slovakia. And I wonder, like, is this going to give him that kind of boost for the second half? He might need to prepare even a bit more for this in the first half. Like Olympic Slaf, aside from playoff Slaf, which we've seen is going to be good and I'm excited for this year as well, this is the thing where I think, again, he could just take that whole nother step to see like, all right, time for me to drive the offense again. And that can translate right back to his NHL game.
It can in a huge way because I find Juraj Slafkovsky often defers too much on the ice. We've said it all the time. It's a meme a little bit like that Slaf needs to shoot the puck more. And you have to feel like, again, that's kind of a part of the culture and speaks to maybe his characters speaking with, playing with a Nick Suzuki and a Caufield. They're such talented players and the respect kind of giving. But there is a certain point now, and we want to see this as soon as, Slaf's kind of year next year where he's starting to take a little bit more ownership of the puck and kind of really, again, like how Demidov, where sometimes you just need to take control of the puck and that offensive zone. So I absolutely love the Olympics for just giving that opportunity where he's going to have to be that target. He's going to have to be a little bit more selfish and look for his opportunities. And I really hope that he continues that type of play with the Montreal Canadiens as well, kind of looking for his shots as well.
I hope so. I mean, the dude has a great shot. We've seen it before. Leave your thoughts on your predictions for Slaf's points this season down below. Cannot wait to see a full season of second half Slaf. First half Slaf coming, but I want to transition into another one of our young studs, Jesse, and that's Alexander Zharovsky. As there have been some quotes coming out recently from a Russian website, and he had some very cool ones. This one saying he met Demidov when we were kids. We played on the same team. We called after the draft. He asked if I would come or not, and he went on to say this, and this is what I really wanted to focus on today. Of course, playing in the NHL is my dream, but you need to be absolutely ready to go there, and I understand that. I don't want to make any predictions now. First, I need to get stronger here, establish myself as a player. And this is exactly what you want to hear from one of our young players, Jesse, and Alexander Zharovsky, that was straight up maybe the most skilled player offensively, stick-handlingly in this draft. Stick-handlingly? That's a new word. There you go. Brand new, right here from Habs Digest. But this dude has maybe not the best, but right there at the top of this draft in terms of pure skill. 50 points in 45 MHL games. Yeah, he has to bulk up, but there's a spot there for the taking in the KHL this year. And even worst case, he goes back to the M. This guy knows what it takes to get better. He has Ivan Demidov on his side, Jesse. I mean, just hearing him say, like, yeah, my dream's to play in the NHL. Imagine his dreams to play with Ivan, his dreams to play here in Montreal. Maybe I'm extrapolating, but everything he's saying, I'm absolutely loving to hear.
For sure. And can we get a photo showing that golden flow up here again? Because, I mean, the hype is palpable. The flow is unreal right now, and it's building. We might need to wait a little bit more than Demidov here. He's not quite as NHL ready, but he's getting there, and he knows exactly what he needs to do. Again, obviously, putting in the work, getting stronger. But I mean, being a fan of Demidov, you have to feel like that work ethic will rub off on him. But Josh, it almost feels faded, for both of them now to play on the same team again here with the Montreal Canadiens. Absolutely unreal, the skill that he brings to the table. But the reason why I actually feel, Josh, that even though he's 163 pounds, needs to get a lot stronger, the reason why I feel like this is going to be like a good NHL player is that his coach, somebody who's played in the NHL and knows what it takes to be successful, Viktor Kozlov, he mentioned how, like, in the KHL playoffs, he got some experience last year. You have to feel like that's going to help his development a lot for this year going forward. It's like, he said, like, bluntly, he's like, I didn't want to give him ice time, but he basically just forced my hand. He would just had, like, so much poise and maturity. He wasn't, a lot of players kind of come into the KHL, they're quick to, like, get rid of the puck quickly or not make a mistake. It's like, no, he was holding on to, he's making good decision, finishing off his plays properly. So it's like, when we see that, like, a player like Zharovsky, where the skill is extremely obvious, and then you put in the factor of, like, from a coach, somebody who's been in the NHL, saying that he also brings poise and maturity in terms of that combination together. It's okay, like, we got the groundwork of a player that really can be an impact player at the NHL level. And you would have to say kind of as well that he's in a better development position than I think Demidov was with Ronberg last year in SKA. It seems like he's got a coach that is on his side, that he kind of proved himself is open to give him ice time in the future. So obviously a fluid situation there, but lots of positive signs pointing for his development and also for his future in the NHL with the Montreal Canadiens.
Yeah, we'll have to really keep an eye on his development there and what's going on over in Russia. But again, like you said, he's in a great position. And yeah, Demidov, like, he forced himself onto the team. He still led the team in points. Like, you couldn't even hold him down. But Zharovsky might be just getting a bit more of a boost this year. And I'm really excited to see it because, I mean, look, we had him as a first-round talent, as we've said so many times. The Habs wanted to pick him at 16th or 17th, got him in the second round. Cannot wait to see what his production looks like. Leave your thoughts on him and what he's saying down below, because to have him reunited with his buddy Ivan, oh, that would just be absolutely nasty. But final thing we got to talk about today, Jesse, something that is happening now with the team, right? This team, we know what the problem is. We know we need a 2C. We got Joe Valeno. Somehow a lot of people in the comment section, you guys were great. On some social media, people were thinking he was the 2C. Don't really know how. Anyway, I still like the Valeno signing, but I want to get into something Zack Bolduc had to say just yesterday. He said, I was told to practice my faceoffs. I don't know if that's to play center or to just take faceoffs on the left side, but I'm going to work hard to be ready for camp and to have the mentality of a winger, but also someone who can play center. The last time I played center was when I was 17 years old in Rimouski. I think I can adapt well to the challenge. And so, he's a guy, Jesse, that, like, when we got him, I know you mentioned it, we've been talking about it on the side, but, like, some people brought it up in like the live stream chat, but Zachary Bolduc, as much as he has not played center in the NHL level, he's taken a career 16 faceoffs and he's won 6 of them. Whoa, big whoop. A huge sample size. But he has played it in the past. And again, when you're looking at the formation of this team right now, Jesse, I actually think like there's a real world where he gets a lot of run at center, especially if Veleno maybe doesn't crack the starting 12 here. Maybe you give Bolduc a bit of run, like a month into the season, if someone like Veleno's maybe sent down or if there's an injury. I think the big word here, and like we both said before the show, flexibility. And I think at the very least it's that, but I'm starting to say, like, and I think you might even be more into this than I am. Like, all signs are kind of pointing to him at least getting some run at C this season.
It's gonna happen. Some other analysts don't feel that way. I'm sticking by it, right? We'll have to see when the year come by. Leave those loves in the comments once it comes around, because we got faith in our boy Zachary Bolduc. This is a guy that's all over the ice, and why not play center? Like, I have complete faith in have this kind of hybrid approach. For me, it makes sense, kind of leveraging kind of what's there. It's not the ideal situation. If we add that 2C, we're probably not wanting them to kind of focus on that as much, more of a kind of a tertiary thing. That being said, it's a need, and I think that he kind of fits that. It just kind of speaks to the genius of Kent Hughes. It kind of fits if we do bring in a 2C, but if we don't bring in a 2C, this can be a good option while we're kind of finding it out in the meantime. So I think having that plan A, B, and 2C makes a lot of sense for the Habs going forward here, which is clearly what this is. Again, we know we got PTSD with Drouin.
Yeah.
Full disclosure on that. Drouin did not play a 200-foot game.
No.
Bolduc does.
He does.
Drouin did not hit. Bolduc does. They're completely different players. For this type of guy who can get implicated in the game, it just makes a lot of sense. And like, some other analysts are leaning more towards like a Demidov playing center. It's like, that doesn't track on my end. It's like, Demidov is more of an offensive guy. Let him do what he does best. Focus on the offensive. Like, Demidov isn't going to be that amazing 200-foot player. He has offense. That's his calling card. His defense will probably get better over time. But putting him as a center and giving him that responsibility, that shoe doesn't quite fit for me with Demidov. For Zachary Bolduc, this is a guy that he can get in all areas of life. He can contribute offensively, but still be tenacious defensively as well. So I think he's really well suited in that role here going forward. It is interesting to note as well that he has scored 50 plus goals in one. He scored 55 goals one year and then 50 goals another year in the queue as playing a center. He did win also a championship in the queue playing a center. I don't want to get too ahead of myself here, Josh, but there's some key signs looking that he may be able to adapt to that position a little bit better than some people are thinking.
Yeah, I think so too. I think, again, the 200-foot game is a big thing. The guy has a good mind for the game as well. Not to say Ivan Demidov doesn't, but like, I think currently you're absolutely right that like the play style of Zack Bolduc lends more towards being a center. And look, Ivan Demidov absolutely could be, but I think, again, like Kent Hughes, Jeff Gorton have been saying, like, that could take some time, right? You don't want to force him into that immediately. This season, I think, would be a bit premature. He's still a teenager, right? And Bolduc's not old by any means. He's still very young. But like, the fact that we're even discussing all these possibilities is the best thing, because again, we got options. We have flexibility with all of our players, whether it's Bolduc, whether it's Demidov, right? We don't really know right now. Could very well be Bolduc, right? And I really like the idea of him coming in, at the very least, like just some left-handed draws to support the center, right? Because right now, our middle six centers seem to be, I mean, look, it could be Kirby, Dach, and Jake Evans. That's what we have penciled in here. It could change. We don't really know. Maybe Veleno would be the third line center, regardless. But if it's say Dach and Evans, and their wingers are Bolduc and Newhook, you then have a righty down the middle with a lefty who can come in and take faceoffs on their strong side, who, are at least capable of taking faceoffs, like Newhook and Bolduc, who might not be full-time centers. So it's just options after option after option, and I absolutely love that the signs are pointing to this, because it's something that we've been saying from the start. I know you've been hard on this, Jesse, and I like it a lot, and it's seeming to come true, and I can't wait to see what this season has in store. I feel like every little storyline now is coming to a head, and I just want to see them play hockey. Leave your thoughts on all this down below. It's exciting times to be a Habs fan, but that'll do it for this episode of Habs Digest. If you enjoyed, leave a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for tuning in every single day, all summer long. I'm Josh Gosse, my co-host, Jesse Poirier. We'll catch you in the next one.